j'ai invité Descartes. Alors, Descartes est représenté par Lucas. Le pitch va se faire en anglais, donc ça va être juste en fin de journée, un petit exercice de compréhension. So let me introduce you now to Lucas Chenard. Lucas is in charge of the BizDev for Descartes. Descartes is a new player in the world of insurance, right?
Yes.
Yes. Descartes has an innovative approach by pushing the artificial intelligence to the service of the climate risk. Okay. There is one thing I like to know, Lucas. Which kind of features do you offer to your customer?
Thank you. Happy to introduce Descartes Underwriting to you today here. Unfortunately, it's in English, my presentation. However, the company itself is a French startup. So, should I speak like that? Okay. It's a French startup founded by former AXA and SCOR underwriters and managers. So they have a decade-long experience in the company, in the insurance industry. And basically what Descartes does, we develop and quote and distribute parametric, data-driven insurance solutions for natural catastrophes and for extreme weather events. Now that is very specific, obviously, and maybe to understand it, we first go back a step. So right now in the insurance industry, there are two major obstacles and challenges that the property and casualty insurance market faces. So on the one hand, we obviously have climate change, the big topic. It's everywhere in the news, but of course it has been scientific debate for the last couple of decades. And what we have observed basically is that natural catastrophes, extreme weather events, in short climate risks, that they are becoming more frequent, they are becoming more severe, and they are becoming more unpredictable. So that means that there is a lot of increased volatility in the market. And a lot of current incumbents basically are not willing to take on this high risk. And what that means for the entire insurance industry basically is that there is sort of a crowding out going on. So there are almost no offers oftentimes when big companies looking to insure a certain climate risk, for example, against floods or against hail. A car dealer, he will continue searching for it. And basically, that is where Descartes Underwriting comes in then. A lot of current incumbents sort of rely on their traditional products. That means that a lot of traditional products actually, however, are not fit for purpose. That means, for example, that the claim payout takes too long when your hotel gets hit by a natural catastrophe like a hurricane and you have to wait more than a year for a payout, then that obviously is way too long. However, there are other aspects, especially when it comes to extreme weather events, who are oftentimes very complex in understanding, then the wording also gets complex. So there is a lack of transparency on the client side. There are oftentimes very high costs involved, for example, with the claim assessment, when you have to send somebody to a very distant country to basically see if there is real damage, and so forth. So that is why basically Descartes Underwriting trusts in parametric solutions. And now to basically answer your question, parametric insurance solutions build up trust and really rely on data. And these data sources come from different things, for example, weather stations, for example, satellites. And with this data, from our client side, basically, we can then model their risk. So for example, we look at hail maps and then we can accurately model the risk of hail. And with this data then basically, we can very accurately basically quote an insurance product. And the insurance product is very specific to the client needs basically. He will tell us what kind of insurance premium he wants. He will tell us what kind of insurance limit he wants, where the trigger is, and so forth. And both the assessment and the claim payout basically can work automatically thanks to parametric insurance. For example, we can see through satellites or weather stations almost instantaneously when a payout would occur. Yeah, so basically that is a parametric insurance solution in a nutshell. It is very data-driven. Descartes Underwriting itself is specialized on natural catastrophe and extreme weather events. However, there are also other options in the future, for example, pandemics, that may be interesting. Right now, Descartes Underwriting is operating together with about 7 top-tier insurers plus ILS funds. So this allows us to rely on a very large capacity in that regard. Maybe to finish my short pitch, basically we are very hopeful. Descartes is only in existence for about less than a year, maybe a year. It is operational since the second quarter of this year, so it's very young, but the premium growth is already very significant, and there is a huge interest from clients. And this interest will basically only become strong in the future, since parametric insurance solutions will also become much, much better. That is thanks to basically 3 big drivers that we observe, at least. On the one hand, we have a more and more digitalization going on, which means basically that parametrics can be integrated much better into companies, and that they can operate much more with it, that they can really work with the data, for example, that they get. Then, of course, there are new data sources basically coming. So, for example, a lot of Internet of Things for machines is possible in the future when it comes to machine breakdowns, stuff like that. And then, of course, there is, again, the climate change, basically. Our favorite argument is that basically a lot of companies treat insurance or parametric insurance less as an insurance product, but more as a financial hedge. So basically right now, Descartes Underwriting consists of about 10 people. Next year it's already 12. We are on a constant hiring spree, I would say. We operate on 3 continents right now. We plan to be operational on all 5, basically by the end of next year. This is definitely doable thanks to parametrics. And yeah, if you're interested in Descartes Underwriting, please feel free to reach out to us. I think there are a lot of opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucas.